I'll be honest. What I plan to do today is a stupid idea. Given the level gap between our enemies and ourselves, we're really not in the best position to take them on right now, but I want to try anyways. Like I said, this is a stupid idea, but as a great teacher I saw on TV once said, sometimes you gotta take chances and make mistakes. Greetings all, it's Blue Knight, and welcome back to Persona 3 FES. Previously, we started the second section in the labyrinth known as Tartarus, the Arqa block, and we stopped right before the first pack of guardians in said block. Today, we're gonna take on these guardians and hope for the best really, because like I said in the intro, we're not in the best position to take them on given the level gap between them and us, but Akihiko's actually the only one in great condition right now, and given what the enemy is weak to, I think we might be able to pull this off. Don't hold me to that, but I'm gonna try anyways. And normally I wouldn't have a two-handed sword, I always rely on the one-handed sword for combat, but since we have the ability to hold many types of weapons in this game, I want to show off every single one of them and give them their own time in the sun. So, for the sake of this battle and for a little while afterwards, we're gonna go with a two-handed sword, which is the Kishido blade I have right now.
A guardian. I'm afraid you'll have to defeat it to proceed.
Well, it's not like they're gonna move for us, Mitsuru, so defeat them we shall. These are the crying tables. They're level 14 and they're strong to slash and pierce, they nullify strike, drain fire as we can see by their appearance, and most importantly, they're weak to ice. So the obvious strategy here is to execute their weaknesses and then just use all-out attacks on them. It's best to have a persona with the Bufu skill, obviously, so we can initiate this all attack by exploiting the weaknesses. But like I said before, the level gap is going to be one of the major disadvantages we'll have going into this battle. Usually I would wait until we were 1 or 2 levels behind the boss battle at best before we took them on. We're actually 4 levels behind this time around, so that's why I'm a bit more worried than usual when I'm going after this trio of guardians. And as we saw, these guys are able to use fire attacks, mainly Miragi and Akilao, which is a stronger version of the Aki attack we currently have. We do have Akilao gems, but that's not going to work on them at all. Now you think that these guys, they have fire attacks, so just be a bit dangerous, but not too much. Don't underestimate them. They have a skill known as Fire Boost, which strengthens all fire attacks by 25%. I'm gonna leave Junpei to act freely. Yukar's the only one going to set the heal support. Actually, Junpei's got fire attacks as well, so I'll set him to conserve SP, and Akihiko can do what he wants. So be sure to not underestimate these guys, like I said before, because of that fire boost. Realistically, I will probably use Jack Frost since he's the one that has Bufu, and he actually has the potential to learn Ice Boost, but I don't really have Ice Boost on him right now, and he is weak to fire, so if I did have Jack Frost equipped right now, we'd be in a much more precarious position because of his weakness to fire. Miragi again, and oh my god, 2 of our party members went down. Clear healer. You could have used Poisma at that time, at the last turn before you took out 2 of our party members. Jeez, just our luck. Okay, I really gotta be careful. The goal is to bring back Yukari and Akihiko, but for now I gotta heal myself. Sure, I'll use a Razzing Gravy, what the hell. Man, I knew this was a bad idea going into this like I said before, but it could be a lot worse. I mean, we could be dead right now. At least Junpei's the only one that's resistant to fire, so they can focus all their fire attacks on him. I won't be that worried about too much. He's also got Poisma, who was afflicted by Poisma, which of course has the skill Poison. And if you haven't played a video game before, or at least an RPG, then it should be pretty obvious what poison does. But in case you don't know what it does, poison just drains your HP after you do an attack. And this does carry out to the field after the battle, so make sure to heal your party members as soon as possible of this ailment. Yeah, Jupi's taking a lot of damage from someone who's fire resistant.
Hang in there.
And I went down the process too. This is what I was worried about. But to our credit, we were close to taking down one of the cry tables, so this is a fruitful strategy that I have going to this. It's just the level gap between us and the enemies is what I've got to compensate for. It is doable, but it's gonna be difficult. So we'll let on this for now.
Why not?
Actually, I'm gonna take the chance and switch to Jack Frost. These guys are still gonna wait some time to recover anyways. So I don't think I'll be hurting too much in trying to delay this this battle. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm not used to do this delaying tactic, to be very honest. I mean, it will probably be the last thing that anybody would do in any battle, if I had to be really, really honest about this.
Prepare to be attacked.
But I feel like this will pay off for the long haul. Yukari, heal up. And then I'll deal more damage with Jack Frost. Uh-oh, that's not good. That's exactly what I was worried about. Okay, I'll set everyone on to rush for now. Yuffie's turn should come. No, that was Akihiko. Crap. The rock is coming. And of course, I'm weak to fire because I have Jack Frost on.
Great recovery.
Great. Unless they all do like poison or a standard attack, then I think I'm gonna be boned. Or they could go out to Jupi with a fire attack. That works too. You can poison by Jupi again. That is fortunately. Okay, I think this is gonna be the time where I cut the whole delaying tactic and have everyone actually go on the offensive now. So Jupi can go for conserve at speed to negate any chance he has of using a fire attack for some reason. And then I'll switch back to Yomusu Shikome. That way I can negate my weakness to fire. And then we'll use Bufu in the meantime. I might switch off the Jack Frost near the end of the battle so he can get the experience, and hopefully it'll be just enough experience for him to gain the Ice Boost skill, which strengthens Ice attack by 25%. So it's pretty much the same thing as Fire Boost, just it's enhances Ice attacks. So I might do that if I'm able to. That's provided the all attack somehow doesn't take out all these cry people at once. The rock is going off again. These Junpei will now be on the offensive with Cleave. Oh, that was a critical. Nice work, Junpei. Unfortunately, he's gone to the enemy he knocked down because the AI is pretty stupid sometimes. They can all target him with Aguilau, then I'll be okay with that. Because Junpei does have a resistance to fire. Card's gonna play her role in heal support.
Be careful. Takuma is badly injured.
I might knock them all down again, or at least try to. And then let off on the all attack again, so I can spend this turn trying to heal somebody. So Bufu onto all these crying tables.
Yes, the enemy is vulnerable.
Hopefully this one won't miss. Otherwise my plan might go belly up. Alright, good. Then we'll relent on this all attack so I can heal somebody. Yeah, what do I have to heal with? I think I'll try to go for one of the medicine this time around. Yukari. Because she might end up healing herself, which is what I don't want to happen. I wanted to heal Akihiko or Junpei. And Junpei damages that up.
This is not good.
I also call it a different kind of table. The cry table. I'm used to calling it a different kind of name, but that's actually spoiling me for another boss we'll be facing later on.
Help me!
So luckily I managed to catch myself that time. And Yukari still healed herself anyways, despite the fact she was one of the higher party members in terms of HP that turn. If I could take out one of these guys, then that should improve my odds a little bit, and I was able to do that. So we'll knock this crying table down. And we'll knock out the other one too. And then I might let up on the all attack again. Just so these guys can have a chance to recover. I think I'll do that.
Well, I guess that's one way to go.
And then I'll throw out a medicine on myself actually. I'm not really concerned with Jupe too much since Clee doesn't seem to take up that much HP judging by what I've seen. So I could be wrong.
This is not good.
It's also worth mentioning that these guys have other attacks. Attacks we actually haven't seen before. Akihiko, did you use a strike attack on that guy? Well, I guess he didn't try that beforehand, so he wouldn't know, but that was pretty unfortunate. As I was saying, it's worth knowing that these guys also have other attacks, but I rarely see them use these attacks. They have what's known as Mighty Swing, which deals medium slash damage, and another new attack we haven't seen yet called Torrent Shot, which is a light pierce attack, but it can actually hit multiple times, at least 2 to 3 times per attack. Speaking of attacks, we'll actually use the All Out this time around, because they're relatively weak, and that takes out one of them, and there goes the last one. Alright, despite the fact that Akihiko is poisoned, that battle turned out to be pretty smooth for the most part, and we got 3 Vibrant Claws as a result. Pretty sure I can use those to sell later on. And I think that's gonna be it for Tartarus for the time being. Since we did take out a Guardian in the Arqa block, I think that's a good time to stop, if any. Which means I can now focus on requests. And surprisingly, I don't have anything that negates Poisma. Okay. Guess I'll turn to my items to do that instead. At least I got this poisons, which are pretty common to find in Tartarus. So you can also find them in the pharmacy, but honestly, they're a lot more common to find as item drops in Tartarus. So we're gonna go back and save, and I'll finally focus on those requests. I think I found what I was looking for, the Phantom Mage. This is the shadow we need to hunt down for that subjugation request we have open at this current time. I believe this will drop an old ladder, which is what we need to get Elizabeth. Okay, it's weak to an element we haven't seen yet called Light, but it notifies another element we haven't seen yet called Dark. And speaking of Dark, that's how you use the Darkness element with a skill called Mudo. But the chances of Mudo actually hitting aren't that high. It's best to just use one of the other 4 elements from me speaking from experience. I really don't use the light and dark elements that much, merely because that their first form, like I said before, doesn't have a high hit ratio. Oh, wait a second, I don't think we've seen this yet. I just got something called Double Up in Shovel Time. So this is a random chance that Double Up can happen during this little occasion. If we want, we can pick a second card from a new shuffle and we'll be able to keep this card. However, one or more of the new cards may be blank. So if we do select a blank card, then everything we gathered up to that point will be lost. So yes, I would like to try this, and 100% of the time, these are actually personas we already have, so that's kind of unfortunate, but 100% of the time, all of the double up cards that you can find are persona related, so that's something you have to keep in mind if you are going on persona hunting for your compendium. Alright, another new enemy that we haven't seen yet. This is the Wild Beast. I kind of remember this being a bit difficult for me. So we'll just attack it early on. Oh man, it deals a lot of damage, but then again, I am at a relatively low level. I gotta remember to do some grinding off screen sometime if I ever come across a situation again. It's at level 10 too, so it's got higher strength than me. It's stronger than me, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm surprised by that, but at least it didn't last very long. That's because we had the numbers game. And Jupi's tired, fantastic.
Yori is fatigued.
That's gonna make these
Shouldn't you
requests
return?
now a little bit harder to go through. Alright, we finally hit level 11. That's what I was trying to get to. Mainly because there's actually 2 personas that I want to get right now. One for a request and one for something that we will have to use for a little later on. I was able to run into the rare shadow of the Arqa block. The treasure hand.
Roger.
They're pretty much the
I'll
same
attempt
thing
to
as
analyze
the
enemy.
Febble, Febble,
Take the enemy down.
double rare shadow, that's what I'm trying to say. Jeez, I don't know why I was blanking on that for so hard. And for so long too. But at least we got the treasure coin on the deal, which should be a lot more lucrative than the wealth hand. That was the rare shadow of the Febble block. And I actually kind of lucked out because I got onto a floor that has nothing but rare shadows. So very lucrative, but it's a lot risky. It's a lot more risky considering what would happen if I stay on this floor for too long. Also, I gotta be a lot more stealthy with these treasure hands. You may have also seen that these treasure hands are also a victim to the strobe lighting effect on the PSN version of this game. I'm not sure if I actually showed an image on what rare shadows actually look like when they're not supposed to be flashing like this. Come to think of it, there's actually a little trick that you could do with the enemies and the pause screen. So if you pause, then unpause, the enemies will actually turn in a random direction. So if you want the shadows to face a certain way, then you can use this little exploit. I'm not sure how many people actually know about this trick, to be very honest, but it is very handy if you need the enemies to be away from you,
Teach it a lesson.
especially when you're going up against these treasure hands like I am.
Take the enemy down.
Hugo missed. At least Yukari did. Good.
That was a close one.
Has 2 treasure coins in the bag. Nice. Hopefully I do not die. That means I will lose all these if I happen to perish. Now it's gonna get away.
I feel a strong presence.
Uh-oh.
It must
That's
be
not
death.
good. That's not good. Death is coming. That's the thing I was worried about. And I'm letting all these shadows get away. What is wrong with me? Okay, so you know what? Screw these shadows now. We need to haul ass to the next floor pronto. Death is something you do not want to trifle with. Oh no, it's right here. Oh god, no. Oh, we're so screwed.
This is too
Unless I
much.
can escape.
Withdraw.
Yes, I know, but still, we have to withdraw right now. Thank goodness. At least I knew when the withdrawing animation does work. Oh my god. Oh jeez, I can't believe we got away from that. Oh, that was a major heart attack. That was a major heart attack. Ah, that was not gonna be a good time. Okay, so since I can't really hide that anymore, what we just saw is known as the Reaper. It is level 99, and we are nowhere near strong enough to tackle such a thing right now. Ugh. So that's the big threat I was worrying about whenever you do happen to spend too much time on a floor that was rigged like we were just on. Or if you happen to find one of those skull cards during shuffle time. Man, I'm still trying to go over the fact that we were just that close to death itself. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Great attack.
You know, as long as we're here, we might as well show off this item. Purifying Rice casts Hama-on one enemy. And if you remember, these Phantom Mages are weak to light. Hama-on is pretty much a stronger version of the Hama skill that we have yet to learn. Although I missed that time. But we're gonna try to get with the other Purifying Rice. Since I really don't use items like this very often, I figure I might as well just use it now, because it might actually work this time around. Contrary to what we saw just a few moments ago. So we're gonna try this again. See, will it work? Yes, it does. Alright. So at least we got to see Hama-on and Ludo in action as well. So I'm pretty sure I have covered all of the the elements that we can come across in this game. Elizabeth, I got some requests for you, or at least one request, one that I can think of off the top of my head. Yes, I did get these 3 old lanterns. Poorly lit? The route looks really bright to me. I'm not sure what you're talking about. These will help immensely with my reading. Well, whatever helps you sleep at night, Elizabeth. Oh, 31,000 yen, very nice. That'll definitely make up for some of the yen I had to spend on the Persona Compendium. Speaking of personas, if we fuse Yomusu Shikome and Fornius together, we will get Valkyrie of the Strength Arcana. What's very specific about this is that you want to get a Valkyrie with Tarukaja, which is a base skill that Fornius actually comes with upon fusion. This is needed for a request that Elizabeth wants completed. So this is the best combination that I can think of that will suffice. I am Valkyrie. Our hearts are united. Let our journey bring let our journey together begin. Man, I am really out of it today, apparently. My mind's just out to lunch. But we did get a Persona of the Strength Arcana, which will be useful for our Yuko social link too. So there's a lot of benefits that came across with this fusion. This Persona also, I think, yeah, Mabufu, so a multi-ice attack. So I might actually keep this one around for the future. Usually I'll just discard it almost immediately, but that Mabufu might come in handy someday. Truth be told, I actually needed this Persona a little while ago, but we already got Jack Frost with Diaz, so I really have no use for this particular Persona anymore. But by fusing Orpheus and Alp together, we would get Unicorn. I was actually going to fuse Unicorn with Pixie to get Jack Frost with Dia. Actually helps out since Unicorn has Dia as one of its base skills. But I already got that Persona anyway, so there really is no use for me to have this particular Persona anymore. But at least that's one more for our compendium. Oh, wait a second, this is interesting. This Persona seems to be holding something within itself. Things such as this occur every now and then. Go ahead and raise this Persona. In time, it will produce a special piece of equipment. I was not expecting this to come up so early on in the game. But as far as I know, certain Personas can actually have this ability. If you level them up enough, then you'll be able to get a specific piece of equipment from them. I think you have to max them out in order to get this piece of equipment to spawn. And some of these equipment pieces, from what I've researched on and actually have gathered in past playthroughs, are really helpful. So maybe I'll keep Unicorn around as well, since we can actually do this. Or I might just get it for the compendium just for Tartarus visits and whenever I'm grinding. But I was not expecting this to come up so early on in the game. Wow. This usually happens until when I'm like midway through my playthrough before I actually encountered this mechanic to happen. I also want to get this request out of the way before I end up forgetting about it. After all, I did fuse Valkyrie for a reason. Yes, I have, Elizabeth. I see you have brought Valkyrie with the skill Tarukaja. A fine specimen it is. Well, you have done as I asked. The reward I'm going to give you this time has an unusual effect. With it, you will be able to create Pale Rider, a persona with an affinity for the Death Arcana. If you are strong enough to control this persona, then please give it a try. As far as I remember, Pale Rider is way out of our level grade for the time being, but at least that's something we'll have to keep in mind for the future in terms of filling up our compendium. And the next persona, boy, I am nowhere near level 17 for this, but it actually does have a persona that I do actually use on my regular playthroughs of this game, Oberon, at level 17. If I remember correctly, Oberon is actually a persona of the Emperor Arcana, but like I said before, I am nowhere near level 17 in order to do that, so that's going to be put on hold for a while. Speaking of requests, let's see how long it takes for me to get this lead medal. Steady. Steady. Okay, that's step 1. Now for step 2, but since I'm alone, this is gonna rely heavily on luck. Okay, don't run away, good. Alright, we did it! That actually didn't take that long. I'm still on the 2nd floor of Tartarus. I was dreading so much that would take me like another freaking hour just to come across another wealth hand. Thankfully, I lucked out this time around. I guess the game is showing me mercy for how long I actually had to spend on the last time I was in the Thumb Block, and I spent like an hour and a half trying to complete my requests here. And what am I doing? No. No, exit, exit. We don't want to see the Thumb Block anymore. Come on, Makoto. And me. My brain, my hands, and Makoto, by some extension, has to work together as one because I want to give this request to Elizabeth right now. I am really, really glad that we actually got that done in the short amount of time that it actually took. Oh man, that's good. That's good. Yes, I have brought the lead medal as you wanted. Surprised it didn't take that long, Elizabeth. Yes, I know it is very rare. I've come across it multiple times now. This time, I have a special reward for you. It may look like a toy, but I'm sure you'll find it useful. And this, I actually know this reward, the toy bow. If I remember correctly, this toy bow is somewhere near or at triple digits in terms of attack power. We'll check on that very, very shortly, but actually, I want to see what other requests are available that I actually have the potential to do. Jack Brothers, I can't do that right now. Oh, great. I was wondering this was going to come up immediately after. Now we have to find the treasure hand in the Arqa block. Fortunately, the Arqa block is a lot bigger than the Thumb block. We actually haven't seen or come anywhere near close to finishing the Arqa block yet. After all, we did just start it, but the Arqa block is a lot larger than the Thumb block is. Trust me on that. So it's actually very fortuitous that we did get this request on hand right now. This was a very productive day, and I'm so glad I was able to get all this stuff done right now. Granted, it's taken me a long time to do this, but them's the breaks. I actually have to expect this to happen a lot more in the future. So with all that being said, next time on Persona 3 FES, we're gonna exit the Dark Hour and return back to our normal lives. I need to get away from Tartarus for a while, as per usual for all these long stints that we have to spend in this labyrinth, especially with those requests now out of the way. So we're going to have some more social link business in the meantime. We will come back to Tartarus relatively shortly, but like I said, I need to get away from it for a while, like I've done so in the past. Until we meet again, farewell for now.